Hello, dear listeners. I'm Elena Rose. For 2 decades, I've traveled the world, collecting stories. Stories of pain and triumph, of silence and song. Today, I want to share something extraordinary with you. A story about a billionaire who had everything except his daughter's voice. A story about a maid who lost everything but found purpose again. And a story about a little girl trapped in silence until a lullaby set her free. This is the story of Alexander, Maria, and Isabella. And it begins in the heart of Manhattan. In the heart of Manhattan. Manhattan, where glass towers pierce clouds and money flows like rivers. $50 million mansion. Alexander Castellano. Billionaire. Widower. Father. But today, this man who owns everything faces something money cannot buy. 7 years old. Golden curls. Emerald eyes. His daughter Isabella. Silent. For 3 years. One father. One child. One unbearable silence. This is their story. This is their story. 6 a.m. Alexander stands before his mirror, like a soldier preparing for battle. $1,000 tie. Italian suit. But those eyes. 42 years old. Carrying the weight of 100 lifetimes. His reflection stares back. Tired. Empty. Haunted. 3 years ago. A car accident. His wife Elena. Gone in seconds. And his daughter. His little Bella. Her voice. Died that same night. Died that same night. The dining room. 20 empty chairs. 2 people. Marble floors. Crystal chandeliers. Golden silence. Isabella sits perfectly still, staring at untouched eggs. Small fingers gripping her fork. Good morning, sweetheart. Alexander's voice. Soft. Desperate. Silence. Bella, please. Just one word. Anything. Her grip tightens. Knuckles white. Lips sealed like a vault. Alexander's heart shatters. Again. For the 1000th time. For the 1000th time. 3 years. 17 specialists. $500,000 spent. Child psychologists from America. Speech therapists from Switzerland. Holistic healers from India. A Japanese specialist. $50,000. One session. No results. The diagnosis. Always the same. Selective mutism. Trauma-induced. She can speak, Mr. Castellano. The doctors said. She chooses not to. Chooses. Alexander's fists clenched. My daughter is 7 years old. She doesn't choose to live in silence. She's trapped. His voice breaking. His soul breaking. Everything breaking. Everything breaking. 17 housekeepers. Hired. Fired. 3 years. Some couldn't handle the silence. Others treated Isabella like broken glass. One woman called her stubborn. Fired within the hour. Alexander needed someone different. Patient. Kind. Someone who could see past the silence. Someone who understood that broken things aren't always damaged. Aren't always damaged. Thursday afternoon. Rain hammering the windows. Maria Santos walks through the door. 63 years old. Weathered hands. Warm smile like sunrise. Mr. Castellano. I am here for the housekeeper position. Her accent soft. Mexican. Musical. Alexander studies her resume. 30 years experience. Perfect references. Mrs. Santos. My daughter doesn't speak. Many housekeepers found this difficult. Silence. Maria smiles. Eyes gentle. Understanding. Mr. Castellano. Sometimes the most beautiful words are spoken without sound. Something shifts in his chest. Hope. Maybe. He hires her. He hires her. Maria's first day. She finds Isabella in the library. Velvet chair. Rain-streaked window. 7-year-old girl. Staring at nothing. Maria doesn't rush. Doesn't bombard with questions. Doesn't force anything. She simply sits nearby and begins humming. Gentle melody. Soothing. Familiar somehow. Isabella's head turns. Just slightly. Emerald eyes peeking. Maria doesn't look at her directly. Just keeps humming. Keeps being present. You know, Pequeña. Maria says softly. When I was a little girl in Mexico, my grandmother sang me a song. She said it had magic in it. Isabella's fingers stop fidgeting. She's listening. She's listening. Maria continues. Voice like warm honey. My grandmother told me that music speaks when words cannot. Isabella stands. Slowly. Carefully. Step by step. Closer to Maria. Closer to the voice. Maria smiles. Doesn't move. Doesn't startle. Would you like to hear my grandmother's song? Isabella nods. First response. In months. To anyone. Maria pats the cushion. Isabella climbs up. Sits beside this stranger. Who doesn't feel strange? Maria closes her eyes. And sings. And sings. Duerme, duerme, mi niña. Spanish words flowing like a river. Soft. Melodic. Ancient. Duerme, mi amor. Sleep, sleep, my child. Sleep, my love. Los angelitos te suedan. The little angels watch over you. Con todo su amor. With all their love. Isabella's eyes fill with tears. Not sad tears. Something else. Recognition. Memory. Connection. Connection. Alexander stands in the hallway. Frozen. Watching through the crack. He came to check on Isabella, but stopped when he heard the singing. And what he sees breaks him. Isabella, his silent daughter, leaning her head on Maria's shoulder. 3 years. He tried everything. Specialists. Therapy. Medicine. And this stranger found the key. In one afternoon. A tear rolls down his cheek. His throat tight. His heart expanding and shattering simultaneously. Simultaneously. That evening, Alexander can't stop thinking about what he witnessed. At dinner, Isabella looks up. Not at him. At Maria. Maria setting down a glass of water. Gentle movements. Calm presence. Mrs. Santos. Alexander's voice quiet. Almost shy. Would you stay for dinner tonight? Maria looks surprised. Mr. Castellano, I am just the housekeeper. I should eat in the... Please. He interrupts gently. Sit with us. Maria smiles. Sits down. For the first time in 3 years. That dinner table doesn't feel empty. Doesn't feel empty. When bedtime comes, Isabella does something unexpected. She takes Maria's hand. Alexander watches. Disbelief written across his face. His daughter, who hasn't let anyone close in years, leads Maria upstairs to her bedroom. What is happening? Alexander whispers to himself. Voice trembling. Voice trembling. Sometimes, the people who heal us are the ones who understand our pain. Maria understood silence because she had lived it. Alexander was about to learn that the best medicine isn't always clinical. Sometimes, it's simply human connection. Isabella's bedroom. Pink walls. Stuffed animals watching like silent witnesses. Maria sits on the edge of the bed. Isabella climbs under covers. Eyes wide. Waiting. Another song, Pequeña. Maria asks gently. Isabella nods. Eagerly. First time showing emotion in so long. Maria strokes her hair. Begins singing. Alexander stands in the doorway. Watching. Afraid to breathe. Afraid this magic will disappear. Afraid this magic will disappear. Days pass. Then weeks. Every evening. Same ritual. Maria sings. Isabella listens. But something's changing. Isabella starts following Maria around the house. Silent shadow. But present. Engaged. In the kitchen. Maria bakes cookies. Isabella watches. Hands reaching out. Wanting to help. You want to stir, Mia, more. Maria hands her a wooden spoon. Isabella takes it. Carefully. Begins stirring. Small smile forming. Alexander watches from around the corner. His daughter. When did she last smile? He can't remember. He can't remember. 2 weeks in. Alexander and Maria share coffee in the kitchen. Morning light streaming through windows. Mrs. Santos. Alexander hesitates. How do you do it? How do you reach her? Maria stirs her coffee. Slowly. Eyes distant. Mr. Castellano. I understand silence. She pauses. Long moment. Gathering courage. 20 years ago. I had a daughter. Sophia. She was 8 years old. Past tense. Alexander's stomach drops. Leukemia. We fought for 2 years. But her voice cracks. Cancer doesn't negotiate. Silence fills the kitchen. In her final months, Sophia stopped talking. The pain, the fear, it trapped her voice. Maria's eyes glisten. But she doesn't cry. She's cried those tears before. I learned to hear what she couldn't say. I learned that silence isn't always empty. Alexander understands now why Maria sees Isabella not as broken, but as a child who lost her voice to pain. To pain. 3 weeks. Isabella and Maria sit in the library. Picture books spread across the floor. Maria reads aloud. Voices for different characters. Silly. Animated. Making Isabella giggle. Giggle. Alexander hears it from his office. Freezes mid-email. That sound. His daughter's laughter. First time in 3 years. He rushes to the library door. Peeks in. Isabella. Hands covering her mouth. Eyes sparkling. Laughing silently. But laughing. Maria tickles her gently. There's my happy girl. Alexander's vision blurs. Tears. Joy. Overwhelming. He backs away. Slides down the hallway wall. Sits on the floor. And cries. Relief. Gratitude. Hope. Hope. Month 2. Maria discovers the piano in the living room. Covered in dust. Untouched since Elena died. Do you play pequeña? Maria asks Isabella. Isabella stares at the piano. Something flickers in her eyes. Memory. Pain. Your mama played? Maria asks gently. Isabella nods. Slowly. Eyes filling with tears. Maria sits at the bench. Pats the space beside her. Come. Let's make music together. Isabella hesitates. Long moment. Then climbs up beside Maria. Maria plays simple notes. C. E. G. Major chord. Now you. She guides Isabella's small finger to a key. Isabella presses. Single note. Clear. Beautiful. Then another. And another. Soon they're playing together. Simple melody. Nothing complex. But everything. Alexander enters. Stops cold. The piano. Silent for 3 years. Is singing again. Is singing again. Isabella hasn't been to school since the accident. Home tutors came and went. All failed. Alexander meets with Maria. The school called. They think Isabella should return. But he trails off. But she doesn't speak. Maria finishes. They say she needs socialization. Other children. Normal life. Alexander's face conflicted. Maria thinks. Long silence. Then. What if I go with her? Alexander looks up. What? First few weeks. I accompany her. Classroom aide. Just until she feels safe. Hope flickers in Alexander's eyes. You would do that? For Isabella. Maria smiles. Anything. Anything. September morning. Yellow school bus. Isabella's hand grips Maria's. Tight. Terrified. Other children running. Laughing. Shouting. Chaos. Isabella freezes. Eyes wide. Overwhelmed. Maria kneels down. Eye level. Remember what we talked about, mi amor? Isabella nods. Barely. You don't have to talk. You just have to be brave. And I'll be right there. Always. Isabella takes a shaky breath. Nods again. Steps forward. Steps forward. 23 children. One teacher. One silent girl. One protective Maria. Class, this is Isabella. The teacher introduces. Children stare. Whisper. Why doesn't she talk? Is she weird? Isabella shrinks. Maria's hand on her shoulder. Steady. Reassuring. Reading time. Teacher reads aloud. Isabella follows along. Finger tracing words. Art time. Isabella draws. Colors. Shapes. A house. 3 figures. Maria looks. Her. Alexander. Isabella. Family. Family. Week 2. Playground. A boy named Marcus. 8 years old. Mean streak. Why don't you talk? Are you dumb? He taunts Isabella. Isabella stares at the ground. Silent. Trembling. I'm talking to you, dummy. Marcus pushes her shoulder. Maria steps forward. That's enough. Voice firm. Not loud. But absolute. Marcus looks up. She's weird. She doesn't talk. Maria kneels. Marcus. Isabella is brave. She doesn't need words to show courage. But you? You need to learn kindness. Something in Maria's eyes makes Marcus step back. Uncomfortable. He walks away, muttering. Isabella looks at Maria. Eyes grateful. Hugs her waist. Tight. Tight. Month 3 of school. Music class. Children singing. Isabella sitting silently. The teacher plays piano. Familiar melody. The lullaby. Maria's lullaby. Isabella's eyes widen. Her lips part. Almost. Almost. Maria leans close. Whispers. You can hum Pequeña. Just for you and me. Isabella's throat moves. Trying. Fighting. And then. A sound. Soft. Barely audible. A hum. Maria's eyes fill with tears. Yes, mi amor. Yes. Isabella hums. Quietly. The lullaby. Her first sound. In 3 years. In 3 years. That evening, Maria tells Alexander. She hummed today. Alexander freezes. Fork hovering over plate. What? Isabella. During music class, she hummed the lullaby. His fork clatters to the table. She made a sound. A beautiful sound. Maria smiles. Alexander stands. Rushes to Isabella's room. She's playing with dolls. Bella. His voice shaking. Maria told me. You hummed today. Isabella looks up. Nods. Small smile. Can you hum for Papa? His voice breaking. Long silence. Isabella's lips pressed together. Concentrating. Trying. And then. Soft. Gentle. She hums. Alexander collapses to his knees. Sobbing. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Isabella crawls to him. Wraps small arms around his neck. Still humming. Still humming. I've witnessed many miracles in my years of storytelling. But this one, this quiet moment, between a father and daughter, this was something sacred. Sometimes healing doesn't arrive with fanfare. It arrives as a hum, as a small sound, breaking through years of silence. And sometimes, the people who guide us to healing are the ones who've walked through their own darkness. Humming leads to more humming. Every day. Soft melodies. Isabella finding her voice. One note at a time. Maria introduces new songs. Simple. Gentle. Building confidence. In the car. Isabella hums. At dinner. Isabella hums. Before bed. Always humming. Her voice. Returning. Like a flower. Slowly. Opening. Opening. Month 5. December. Snow falling outside. Christmas decorations throughout the mansion. Maria bakes cookies with Isabella. Kitchen warm. Smelling of cinnamon and vanilla. Pass me the sugar, mi amor. Maria asks. Isabella reaches. Grabs the sugar. Hands it over. Thank you, Pequeña. Isabella opens her mouth. Closes it. Opens again. M. The sound catches. Maria freezes. Doesn't move. Doesn't pressure. Just waits. Ma. Isabella tries again. Mari. Her voice raspy. And used. But there. Maria. The word. Clear. Complete. Perfect. Maria drops the wooden spoon. Hands flying to her mouth. Tears streaming. Isabella. You said my name. Maria. Isabella says again. Stronger. Surer. Alexander. Maria shouts. Alexander, come quick. Alexander, come quick. Alexander runs. Through hallways. Sliding around corners. Bursting into kitchen. What? What's wrong? Panic in his voice. Maria points. Isabella. Smiling. Tell him, Pequeña. Tell Papa. Isabella looks at her father. Those emerald eyes. So much like Elena's. Papa. One word. Two syllables. Everything. Alexander's knees buckle. He crashes to the floor. Hands covering his face. Sobbing. Papa. Isabella says again. Walking to him. Small hand on his head. He pulls her into his arms. Holding her. Rocking. Crying. My baby. My Bella. You're talking. You're talking. Maria watches. Tears flowing freely. Hand over her heart. This moment. This miracle. This is why she does what she does. This is why she does what she does. Once Isabella starts, she doesn't stop. First day. 5 words. Maria. Papa. Yes. No. Please. Second day. Sentences. I want juice. Can I play? I love you. Third day. Conversations. Short. Hesitant. But real. At school. Children amazed. Isabella talked. They whisper. Marcus. The bully. Approaches. I'm sorry I was mean. he says quietly. Isabella looks at him. It's okay. Her voice soft. Forgiving. Forgiving. Christmas Eve. Alexander insists Maria celebrate with them. Your family now, he says. After Isabella goes to bed, Alexander and Maria sit by the fireplace. Wine. Crackling logs. Comfortable silence. Maria. Alexander's voice serious. I need to thank you. Properly. You saved my daughter. Maria shakes her head. No. Isabella saved herself. I just reminded her she could. Still. Alexander insists. Name anything. Anything. Money. A house. A car. Whatever you want. Maria smiles. Sad. Gentle. You cannot buy what I want, Mr. Castellano. What do you want? Long silence. Fire popping. Snow falling outside. I want to watch Isabella grow up. Graduate. Get married. Have children of her own. Her voice cracks. I want all the moments I didn't get with Sophia. Alexander's throat tightens. Understanding. Then stay. He says. Not as a housekeeper. As family. As Isabella's. As her. He struggles for the word. As her grandmother. Maria offers quietly. Yes. Alexander nods. Exactly that. Maria's tears flow. I would be honored. I would be honored. New Year's morning. Isabella asks her first complex question. Papa. Where is Mama? Alexander and Maria exchange glances. This moment, they knew would come. Alexander kneels. Takes Isabella's hands. Mama is in heaven, sweetheart. Remember? We talked about this before. But why can't she come back? Isabella's voice small. Breaking. Because when people go to heaven, they can't return. But he touches her chest. She lives here. In your heart. Always. Isabella's eyes fill with tears. I miss her. I miss her too, baby. Every single day. They hold each other. Grieving together. Healing together. Maria watches. silent, respectful, present. This family. Learning to live again. Learning to speak again. Learning to love again. Learning to love again. January. Isabella's therapist. Dr. Chen. Requests a session. She sits across from Isabella. Amazed. Isabella, you're talking. This is incredible. Maria helped me. Isabella says simply. How did Maria help? She sang to me. She was patient. She didn't make me feel broken. Dr. Chen writes notes. Then looks at Alexander. Mr. Castellano, what changed? Alexander glances at Maria, sitting quietly in the corner. Love changed. Patience changed. Someone who understood silence changed. Dr. Chen nods. Sometimes the best therapy isn't clinical. It's human connection. You found that in Mrs. Santos. You found that in Mrs. Santos. February. Show and tell at school. Isabella volunteers. First time. Standing in front of the class. Speaking. This is my family. She holds up a drawing. 3 figures. Papa, Maria, and me. Who's Maria? A child asks. She's my. Isabella thinks. She's my angel. She helped me find my voice again. The teacher's eyes glisten. Maria. Sitting in the back. Crying quietly. After class, children surround Isabella. You're so brave. I'm glad you can talk now. Will you be my friend? Isabella. Shy but smiling. Yes. I'll be your friend. I'll be your friend. March 15th. Isabella turns 8. Alexander throws a party. First party in 3 years. Classmates. Teachers. Neighbors. Balloons. Cake. Presents. Laughter. Isabella. Center of attention. Talking. Laughing. Playing. Alexander watches. Heart full. Maria beside him. Thank you. He says for the 100th time. Stop thanking me. Maria laughs. This is my gift too. Watching her bloom. Isabella runs over. Papa. Maria, come sing with me. They join. All the children singing happy birthday. Isabella's voice. Clear. Strong. Beautiful. When she blows out candles, Alexander asks, "What did you wish for?" Isabella looks at him, then at Maria. "I wished that we stay together forever. I wished that we stay together forever." In my years documenting human stories, I've learned something profound. Healing isn't linear. It doesn't follow a schedule. It doesn't arrive when doctors predict. Sometimes it arrives in the voice of someone who understands your pain. Sometimes it arrives through a lullaby sung in the dark. And sometimes, the greatest miracles are simply love, patience, and presence. Spring. 1 year since Maria arrived. Isabella, 9 years old now. Thriving. Top of her class. Friends. Hobbies. Voice. She joins the school choir. Solos in performances. That voice, once silent, now singing. Alexander attends every performance. Front row. Camera ready. Pride radiating. Maria beside him. Always. Her family now. Her family now. But something else has changed. Alexander and Maria. Their relationship. Evolving. From employer-employee. To friends. To something more. Late nights talking. Shared coffee mornings. Comfortable silences. Meaningful glances. Alexander realizes he's falling in love. Not the desperate love of loneliness, but genuine. Deep. Real. June evening. Garden. Roses blooming. Isabella asleep upstairs. Maria. Alexander's voice nervous. Yes. I know this might sound. I know we're different. Different ages. Different worlds. But he takes her hands. You've given me my daughter back. You've given me hope back. You've given me life back. Maria's eyes widen. Understanding where this is going. I'm not asking you to be the housekeeper anymore. I'm asking, will you be my partner? My companion? My wife? Silence. Long silence. Maria's tears fall. Alexander. I'm 64. You're 43. You're the woman I love. He interrupts. Age is just a number. But what you've done for Isabella, for me, that's eternal. What will people say? Maria whispers. I don't care what people say. Alexander pulls out a ring. Simple. Elegant. I care what you say. Maria looks at the ring. Then at Alexander. Then at the house where Isabella sleeps. Yes. She whispers. Yes. Yes. Next morning. Breakfast. Alexander and Maria hold hands. Bella, we have something to tell you. Isabella looks up. Curious. What? Maria and I. We're going to get married. Isabella blinks. Processing. Then. Does that mean Maria will be my mama now? Alexander and Maria exchange glances. Careful territory. No one will replace your mama, sweetheart. Alexander says gently. But Maria will be your family. Officially. Isabella thinks. Long moment. Then smiles. Good. I want Maria to be my family. Forever. She runs around the table. Hugs Maria tight. Will you be my grandmama? Maria laughs through tears. Yes, Pequeña. I'll be whatever you need me to be. I'll be whatever you need me to be. Small ceremony. September. Garden wedding. 50 guests. Isabella. Flower girl. Pink dress. Carrying roses. Singing softly. Maria walks down the aisle. Simple white dress. Radiant. Alexander. Tears streaming. Unashamed. They exchange vows. I promise to love you. Alexander says. Not because you saved my daughter, but because you saved me. I promise to love you. Maria says. And to help you raise Isabella. To honor Elena's memory. To build a future together. You may kiss the bride. They kiss. Gentle. Sweet. Perfect. Isabella claps. Loudest of everyone. Yay! She shouts. She shouts. Isabella. 14 years old. High school. Confident. Articulate. Top of her class. Lead in school musicals. Still sings the lullaby. Maria's lullaby. When she's stressed. When she's happy. Always. She gives a speech. School assembly. Mental health awareness. When I was 7, I stopped talking. For 3 years, I was silent. The auditorium quiet. Everyone listening. I wasn't choosing silence. I was trapped by grief and trauma. But someone showed me that voices come back. When you're ready. When you're safe. My step-grandmother Maria taught me that words aren't the only language. Music is language. Patience is language. Love is language. If you're struggling, if you feel voiceless, know this. Your voice will return. Maybe not today. Maybe not tomorrow. But when you're surrounded by love, when you're given patience, your voice will find you again. Standing ovation. Teachers crying. Students inspired. Maria and Alexander. Back row. Holding hands. Crying. Crying. Age 18. Isabella accepted to Juilliard. Voice program. The girl who didn't speak will now sing. Professionally. Move-in day. Dorm room. Boxes everywhere. Alexander helps unpack. Maria organizing. Isabella excited. Nervous. You'll be amazing, Pequeña. Maria says. I'm scared. Isabella admits. Fear is okay. Maria touches her face. But remember, your voice is powerful. It survived silence. It can survive anything. Isabella hugs her. Long. Tight. Thank you, Maria. For everything. For my voice. For my life. For my life. Isabella's senior recital. Juilliard Concert Hall. Packed audience. She steps onto stage. Spotlight. Piano accompaniment begins. And she sings the lullaby. Maria's Lullaby. Arranged for classical voice. Duerme, duerme, mi niña. Her voice. Pure. Powerful. Emotional. In the audience, Alexander and Maria. Both crying. That song. That brought her back. Now her gift to the world. Standing ovation. 5 full minutes. Isabella bows. Looks at Maria. Mouths. Thank you. Thank you. Isabella's graduation. Maria writes her a letter. My dearest Isabella. 20 years ago, I lost my daughter. I thought my purpose died with her. But then you came into my life. Silent. Hurting. Trapped. You gave me purpose again. You let me be a mother again. You reminded me that broken things can heal. That silent voices can sing. I didn't save you, Pequeña. We saved each other. As you go into the world, as you share your voice, remember, you're not just singing notes. You're singing hope. For every child who feels voiceless. For every person who thinks they're broken. Your voice matters. Not because it's technically perfect, but because it survived. I love you. Always. Your Maria. Isabella reads it. Tears streaming. Hugs Maria. I love you too, Mama Maria. I love you too, Mama Maria. 10 years later. Isabella. Accomplished opera singer. Married. 2 children. She starts a foundation. Finding your voice. For children with selective mutism. Music therapy. Patient care. Trained professionals. All based on Maria's approach. Grand opening. Maria. Now 84. Cuts the ribbon. This foundation represents what I learned as a child. Isabella speaks. That love, patience, and music can unlock any silence. Hundreds of children helped. Every year. Finding their voices. Because one maid sang one lullaby to one silent girl. To one silent girl. Maria. Age 90. Sitting in the garden. Isabella's children playing nearby. The youngest. A girl. Named Sophia. After Maria's daughter. Sophia runs to Maria. Abuela, sing me the song. Maria smiles. Weak now, but present. She begins. Voice frail, but beautiful. Duerme, duerme, mi niña. Sophia listens. Eyes wide. Absorbing. Isabella watches from the doorway. Tears flowing. This moment. 3 generations. Connected by a song. Connected by love. Maria finishes singing. Sophia kisses her cheek. Thank you, Abuela. Thank you, Pequeña. Maria whispers. For letting me love again. For letting me love again. Dear listeners, I've told you many stories over the years. But this one, this story of Alexander, Maria, and Isabella, this one stays with me. Because it reminds us that money cannot buy miracles, but love can create them. That silence isn't always empty. Sometimes it's just waiting for the right voice to call it home. 1 billionaire, 1 maid, 1 silent child, connected by a lullaby, healed by patience, united by love. Alexander learned that wealth means nothing without family. Maria learned that purpose can be found again, even after loss. Isabella learned that voices return when you're surrounded by people who listen to more than words. Sometimes the most powerful words aren't spoken. Sometimes they're sung. And sometimes a simple lullaby can change everything. Everything. This is Elena Rose. Thank you for listening. Until our next story together. Duerme, duerme, M.